Everyone already knows what drifting in a normal car is like, but what if we go a bit out of the norm for a second? Drifting a fish. That's right, in Isopodyssey you could drive fish around and drift them, and it's a wonderful feat of biological engineering. If you couldn't tell by my profile picture, I kind of like isopods. They're, just silly little guys that I feel don't really get enough attention, at least, compared to other animals that people seem to like. And Isopodyssey is one such game that lets me live out my isopodal fantasies and all of the joy and fervor possible that comes from such a meaningful existence. This game is honestly rather simple though, so I can only hype it up so much before I just, start bullshitting a bunch of random things. But the game is, like I just said, pretty short, which I expected from a free game, but that's honestly not a problem for me. It literally only took 75 minutes to 100% the game, but let's see what's actually going on inside the game. Starting off is the main gimmick, which is just, the main thing, the fish racing. And I didn't think I'd ever say this, but it felt pretty good to drive a fish. The controls for the fish are the usual WASD keys with the spacebar acting as your drift button, all very simple and easy to use. And it's pretty funny too because you literally street race other fish driving isopods. The game has two other major parts to it, with those being the factory and the exploration part. The factory is rather simple and acts as the end of the game, with you sorting bottles and trash, while displaying propaganda, of course. But I think the exploration is more interesting, and it definitely was what gave me the most playtime. The exploration is kind of tied in with the achievements as well, since you get a couple for finding different places on the rather small map. Because of that, I'm going to cover some of the achievements here as they go hand in hand with the exploration. And there are a couple different areas around the map, like the fuel station and the motel. Fuel station is great because the owner just tells you straight up they give the fish beer so you can drive them easier. And it makes me think of like Adventure Time. If Finn got Jake drunk when he used the Jake suit, would it be similar? Who knows? I sure as shit don't. And there are 3 achievements for finding spots around the map, like one finding a bucket inside a bucket inside a bucket inside a bucket. Another spot being the Parasite Playground, and lastly the Logitech controller. And no, you didn't hear me wrong. I did say the legally distinct and different Logitech controller, and not the other company with a very similar name and very similar controller who had a submarine malfunction and implode, which is absolutely not what this is referencing. The other things you can find are several different isopods scattered around the map you can chat with, and I was honestly surprised by them because, well, the game itself was pretty silly. The isopodal residents had some pretty introspective dialogue. Like, one guy talks about generational shifts, and another talks about inherent worth.
Are we less valuable because we're born as smaller creatures, whereas the bigger guys have more importance?
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just trying to drive my fish. The Logitech controller bit even has religious lore surrounding it. Like, what the fuck? I was a little speechless and confused when seeing this, just because I wasn't expecting to see, any religious undertones or just straight up, like, religious theming at all in this game. But yeah, there really isn't much else for me to talk about for this game, as, like I said earlier, a 100% playthrough of the game was only 75 minutes, so I'm not going to waste your time with any meaningless bullshit. Aside from this, of course. It's once again that point in the video where I ask you to, do the thing, subscribe, share the video, like it, whatnot, comment. Yeah, that's all I got. Back to the video. Nah, for real though, that's it. And with that, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and I hope to see you again real soon.